let's talk a little bit for a second about doubt as to collectability, offer, and compromises, since those are the more common ones. So doubt as to collectability, offers, and compromises fall under a specific set of guidelines. Doubt as to liability, offers, and compromises are based on a formula that is the quick sale value, defined by the IRS as 80% of the value of the taxpayer's assets, plus the positive monthly cash flow times 60 months. So if a taxpayer is showing $10 in positive monthly cash flow over 60 months, that's $600. $100 a month in positive monthly cash flow, that's $6,000. $1,000 a month in positive positive cash flow, that's $60,000 a month, or $60,000. So positive cash flow is really important from an offer and compromise standpoint, because little changes in the positive monthly cash flow of a taxpayer really affect the minimum offer amount that the IRS will accept. So when determining whether your client is an offer and compromise candidate, one of the best things to do is ask the client, what assets do you have? List out the assets that they have, determine what their value is, meaning not what the client says the value is, but what the quick sale value of the asset is, and then take those assets and list the client's income and expenses out and figure out what their positive monthly cash flow is, if any, and then that gives you an idea of what their minimum offer amount is. So that's a really great trick to pre-screen offers and compromises. So we have a policy in our firm of pre-screening offers and compromises even before we get ready to submit them to the IRS. And by pre-screening them, we tremendously increase our offer acceptance rate, because we're submitting offers that have a very strong likelihood of being accepted. So one thing I want to point out is that offers and compromises are not based on the amount owed. They are based on the taxpayer's reasonable collection potential. So while it seems incredulous that a taxpayer might be able to settle a liability that is hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars for a very small amount, I can assure you it happens all the time. Some of the personal success stories for our firm, we had a $2 million liability, which we settled for a $5,000 offer and compromise. We had an $850,000 liability. We settled that for $15,000. And the reason I illustrate those kind of extreme examples, those are not the norm. But the reason I illustrate those examples is that the IRS is willing to take huge discounts based on the realistic threat that they may not get anything in the future. So tell the client to throw the liability out the window and really spend your time focusing on what the client can reasonably afford to pay the IRS. That is the best indicator for an offer and compromise.